Yeah! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is the first episode of a new series right here on your favorite channel, Happy Beard Games. Let's jump in with today's first exciting episode. And on today's episode, our subject is The Lion King. Specifically, Disney's The Lion King for the Super Nintendo. We're playing this game today because I loved this game as a kid. I found it challenging and hard. I was never able to beat the final boss, Scar, but I made it pretty far into that battle. It took me a very long, very sad, grueling time, and it made me sick to my stomach. In a weird way, because the game physically made me ill. I'm not even kidding, it made me ill. It made me feel sick, and today's game is one of those games that's known for being one of the hardest games of its generation. People think of this one as being way too difficult and extreme for a Disney game, a game aimed at kids. But even if it is aimed at kids or adults, it's still a challenge. The difficulty of today's game, The Lion King, was made intentionally hard because they wanted people to be able to play the game and have a hard time with it, so that when you rented the game from your local Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or other rental stores back in the day, you wouldn't be able to beat it within a week's time of rental. So before we jump in, I chose to play my game today on the Super Nintendo, my favorite console of choice for that generation, and I like it on this console the most. I feel like the music and the controls are just the best on the Super Nintendo, but they're not too much different on other consoles. I also have it on the Sega Genesis here, and the Nintendo Switch over there. Let's jump in and smash our way through Disney's The Lion King for the Super Nintendo, today on Happy Beard Games. We've got The Lion King by Virgin Interactive Entertainment and Walt Disney Company, licensed by Nintendo, 1994. I love this movie. I love the game too. If you go down to options, you can choose the difficulty to easy, which we're doing it on easy. I want to make that clear. We're on easy mode. So we got like a dangerous knife, which is the knife, and then we got a steak knife, which is normal mode, and then you've got like a buster sword for difficult. That's my comparison of the difficulty stages in The Lion King. And if I really want to die, I'll play it on difficult. So let's keep that on easy. The music, you want stereo, everything's good there. The controls are perfect. Now, we will be coming back to the options menu later on because there's a cheat code to enter. We're going to skip level 2 because that level sucks. I don't recommend playing it. I recommend playing it maybe once, seeing if you can beat it. It's almost like a game of chance. It's kind of stupid. Like, I don't usually say that about video games, especially ones that I love, but it's a stupid level. I don't like it. It starts. Alright, we're jumping into The Lion King for the Super Nintendo. We are in the Pride Lands as our main character Simba as a child. Or, as a cub? I guess it's a cub, not a child. Or it's like a kitten. No, he's not a kitten. Well, we jump around with the B. We got the A button to roar, which comes into play, and I don't like the roar mechanic very much. Basically, you can roar at an enemy, it'll stun them, or on some enemies you'll flip them over in order to destroy them that way. Now there's a hidden kind of attack. It's not really a hidden because you have to use it, but you might not know about it at first. So what you do is you run forward and you kind of roll your thumb, kind of like a Hadoken. Makes Simba roll. You need to do that to kill the porcupines. So you can kill the porcupines that way, flip them over and attack them. And then you jump up here. We're on climbing up Pride Rock. If you know The Lion King, the movie, and you love the movie, then you'll love the game. At least for the art style, and the sound effects, and the music, and the appearance. You might be put off by the difficulty of it all. I don't want to over-exaggerate it either, because I feel like a lot of people say this game's really difficult, so I want to mention that and bring that up, but then I don't really find it that much harder than a lot of other games, and I never really made it stood out. It never stood out to me when I was a child how much more difficult it was than other games that I had on Super Nintendo. So, I mean, there is a difficulty spike and learning curve to it, but yeah. And you can also roar at the porcupines. You don't have to do the roll, but later on there's a part where you have to do the roll, so I'm just getting myself used to rolling to attack the porcupines, because there is a specific part later where you'll go to roar at them and you won't have enough time to roar at them. This is at a different level. And yeah, you'll die if you don't do it. There's a secret up here. If I can get to this bug, It should expand our health bar, or give us more health or something like that. Oh, here's the big one. This is the one. Oh, it gives you more of the roar meter. Expands your roar meter. And I think it's permanent, too. I'm not sure. So if you notice it go down, it's because I used the cheat code to skip level 2. Your health bar is on the top right. Your roar meter is on the top left. And the roar meter isn't really that important. You can roar with it. It'll take it all the way down. And then you can also fill it up again. You have to wait for it to fill up before you can use it. It's pretty basic. So these little Simba symbol, are checkpoints for levels. So we're jumping into the first boss. Real brief level. You gotta wait for the hyena to get tired, and then you can jump on him. And that's the whole boss. That's the easiest level in the game. It's super short. It introduces you to the gameplay very well. If you're not like messing around or like completely clueless, you can do it pretty simply. And because I unlocked a certain bug in the level, I get to play a bug toss minigame at the end. And you gotta catch as many bugs as you can with Timon and Pumbaa, which are characters from the movie that come in later on. What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, and I hope you're enjoying the Late Night Beard Show. This is the very first episode of Late Night Beard, and it's gone through some changes in development, some changes in progress, and I'm still working out how I want the show to go, and how I want to order in the show, and how everything's set up throughout the show, stuff like that. So it's basically a Let's Play series, but going from game to game. So we're starting out with Disney's The Lion King. Now, intertwined with the gameplay of the Let's Play, we're doing little mini reviews. And these mini reviews are a first for me because they're a review of movies and music, not video games. So let's jump in with the very first of these little short movie reviews. And I want to point this out because it's the first episode I'm doing this on. These are short, basically a plot summary of the movie and my thoughts about it. And that's it. And then we'll move on to the gameplay again. Now, I do want to point out this is a spoiler-filled review. It's short, but still spoiler-filled. So if you don't want to get spoiled on this Disney animated classic and you haven't seen it yet, go check it out ASAP, because this movie is awesome. And it's not too long, and you can find it on Disney+, so check it out. Since we're playing the Lion King game on Super Nintendo, Disney's The Lion King. Yes, this is a classic. It was like an instant classic. I remember it when it first came out when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I saw this one in theaters. Heck, even on the box it says a Walt Disney masterpiece. Now this movie, the basic plot and story of The Lion King centers around Simba, who you know from the video game already. Young Simba is a lion cub, the next in line to the heir of the Lion King, which this is a very musical, very colorful, very creative and characteristic approach to telling a story about animals. They are not anthropomorphized people animals, as in other Disney cartoons like Mickey Mouse and Goofy. These are actually supposed to be animals in the African savanna, the Pride Lands as they call it. But they can talk and sing. There's a very cartoon element to it, which makes it extremely appealing. All the songs in the movie, which are done by Elton John, Tim Rice, and Hans Zimmer, are amazing. The entire soundtrack is amazing. And by the way, all the soundtrack of this movie is featured in the game for the Super Nintendo. So they were able to transition all the classic, amazingly well-written and entertaining and catchy music from the Lion King movie into today's game. But the basic plot is about the cub Simba once again. Simba goes on his daily life. He's guided by his Uncle Scar, who is actually evil, and is corrupting him and manipulating him throughout the movie. There comes a turning point in this movie where Simba is blaming himself for the death of his father. And with that, he leaves the Pride Lands, the homeland of the lions. Eventually, he has a change of pace after meeting his friends Timon and Pumbaa and living in the jungle for many years, growing up into a full lion. His friend Nala, who lived back at the Pride Lands, a lioness, she comes and finds him, telling him that Scar has ruined the Lion King kingdom. And in a basic, short version of it, he does return. And he saves the day, not only by showing the corruptness of Scar to the lions, but even Simba's evil Uncle Scar, who had deceived the hyenas into creating an army for himself and helping him take over the Pride Lands, was, once confronted by Simba, found out to be a villain and a deceiver of the hyenas as well. So it's not ultimately the hero Simba who really just kills the bad guy. He basically uncovers the plot, the reason why he felt like he was blaming himself for the problems that Scar was the one that actually caused it. And then upon revealing that to the lions and the hyenas are the ones that destroy the villain, which is a really interesting twist. They all burn up in a fire. It's really awesome. It's an epic ending to a classic Disney movie. I consider it an instant classic. I love watching this movie anytime. And it's just a good one. I highly recommend this movie. And the game as well. So now we're at Roar at Monkeys, which is also known as I Just Can't Wait to Be King stage, and this level sucks. And I'll just show you what it's all about and why it sucks real quick, because it's terrible. It's horrible. It's the worst. And I don't like it. Now what you gotta do is... Okay, this seems pretty straightforward, you know, basic platforming, all that. And I do like parts of this level. I like this part with the monkeys. It's a bit of a puzzle. You have to roar at the pink monkeys. It flips them around. And then you jump on the rhino, and then the pink monkeys, if you do it in the right puzzle order, they will throw you in the direction that you need to go to continue on with the level, which I like that. But then you get to this part, which is completely BS. Excuse me, Disney fans and children and anyone who might be watching this. No one really cares a bit. But this is stupid. It's stupid. You have to jump. It shows you an arrow. You don't jump when the arrow shows up. You jump when you get to a specific point in between the arrow and the obstacle. And I did pretty bad on that part on purpose because I didn't press the jump button at all. But you can see how it can be extremely tricky. And I'll just give you another glimpse at that because it's super easy to get to. But once you get to it, it's hard to like complete the level. So like if I wanted to stay here all day trying to beat I Can't Just Wait to Be King level, then I would if I had like a lot of time, but I'd rather just move on with the game. That's why I'm going to use a cheat code for this, and I'm not even hiding that at all, because I don't care. This level sucks, and I recommend you use the cheat code that I'm giving you to do it. See, there's like, you jump over the pig, or whatever that is, and then you double jump. The double jump sucks! That's what sucks. The double jump sucks. You try to do it, and like 50% of the time, if you're not exactly on the spot, you die. And I think that's one of the reasons why people hate this game, or say it's difficult, or like, you know, like kind of rag on it, because it's a good game. It's a good game, and the people probably get past the first level real quick because it's only like a minute long, and the boss is just like a one-hit kill, which later bosses are not, by the way. And there isn't too many bosses in the game. But the game does get harder with its normal platforming stages later on, which is good. But this level is it's kind of BS. It's kind of random. It's kind of precise. You have to get in that little window of opportunity, and you have to be exact on time. I used to be able to do this pretty well when I was a kid because I didn't know the cheat code. Well, now I do know the cheat code. And you know what? I'm going to use it. So after this last attempt just showing you how BS it can be, which there was, we're going to move on to the next part of this video, where I'm going to use a cheat code. And we're gonna skip this level, go on to the very next level. You don't really miss out too much on the story, and we'll continue the game from there. So how do we skip this? What is the cheat code? The cheat code is Barry, B-A-R-R-Y. So you look at the controller, and you go down to options, and you go B-A-R-R-Y. You get the secret cheat code menu, which is kind of cool because it says CPU 2, PPU 1, 1, PPU 2, 3, which I don't know if that is like a debug thing. You got invulnerability, which makes you immune to attacks, I think. Also easy, which I don't know what that means. I might have to play around with that. I don't know what easy means, but we're leaving it off for now. Then you can choose your level from the level select by pressing the A button. You can switch between them. So you got all the levels in the game right here, which we'll get to eventually, plus the mini games. So we're skipping that level, because that level sucks. So we're going to the elephant graveyard. Another cool thing is it tells the version number of the cart ROM that you're playing, so we're version 0.99. Kind of cool information. You press start. Remember to go back to options and make it easy mode, and it should load us up into the level that we want to go to. It starts. Elephant graveyard. Here we go, guys. And we got 8 lives, just like on easy mode. And now we gotta play the game.